I love sim racing. I've played all kinds of racing games, starting all the way back with my Wii U playing games like Radiator Springs and Need for Speed Most Wanted. Naturally, as I grew up, I was looking for something more realistic, so I turned to titles by Codemasters like the F1 games, I played Assetto Corsa, and I even played iRacing.
Nice.
I've lost countless league races and open lobbies on the F1 games. I played nearly 800 unemployed hours on Assetto Corsa alone, and spent nearly $400 real on iRacing, almost breaking my bank. Anyways, all these games have their pros and cons. The F1 games are actually like the real world, you can't get that anywhere else, but it's really an arcade game. Assetto Corsa is really realistic, but it hasn't been updated, so you just get less involved as time goes on. And iRacing is super good, it's great, except it's just so expensive. A few years ago, I started looking around for a game that could do it all. A game with a bright future, a game with great realism, and a game that had a good community. Would you look at that? It's Beamng Drive, the best racing game money can buy. This game really does offer it all. Soft body physics that make iRacing look like an arcadey game. I mean, look at this. This car just keeps spinning forever and ever. It also has so much customization. You can remove entire body parts from the car. And you have so much choice, you're never going to run out of a car to drive, and you can just keep experimenting. On top of that, the community is so good that it's actually a top 20 rated game on Steam for reviews. That's just how good this game is. So sit back and relax, motherfuckers, while I explain why Beamng is the best racing game on the market. It's no secret that Beamng is known for its realistic crashes. As you can see here, this car gets totally totaled in a realistic manner that is not comparable to any other sim racing game on the market. Heck, the way my channel grew so quickly was basically by posting videos of realistic crashes on Beamng, so it just goes to show you how realistic Beamng is compared to other titles. And if you don't believe me right now, I'm going to show you two separate clips demonstrating how Beamng is so superior to every other game on the market. Now, as you can see in these two clips, Beamng does a far superior job simulating this crash. Now, Assetto Corsa does simulate realistically how a car would handle after a crash, but the way it looks is simply just by plastering a texture onto the car, instead of actually changing the way the car would look according to a crash. And that's why Beamng is such a good and realistic simulator. So to summarize this point, Beamng's crashes are realistic to what they would look like in real life. And they add another level of simulation to the game that no other game on the market can provide. That sense of feeling that when you step out into a car, you might not leave it alive. It's sort of that sense of terrifying, impending doom that other games can't have, simply because Beamng is so realistic that you honestly feel like you're driving a real car. And it's not only that you feel like you're driving a real car, but it's also the fact that you have to consider the real world consequences of how you drive. So you have to always consider, oh, if I do this, I might crash, and if I don't do it, I might not crash. So that's what keeps you coming back for more in Beamng. One of Beamng's most overlooked qualities is the amount of choice that they offer. Whether you want to drive a semi-truck across the map or you want to set lap records at the local track, you can. There really is so much choice, whether you want to drive a super big pickup truck or a super small Italian hatchback, you can. And it's the amount of choice that Beamng gives you that's going to make you never want to leave this game behind. Honestly, there's so many maps that represent so many different geographical locations in the world that you barely ever need to download maps unless you actually want to race around a real racetrack. And when you do want to do that, all you have to do is look at the mod repository and you'll find it immediately, where you can start setting laps at the Nürburgring overnight. Something often overlooked in the Beamng meta is that it truly is a real driving experience. Yes, the crashes are super realistic, but that's not it. The handling of the vehicles themselves are realistic, with real-world ECU handling modes like Sport, Comfort, Drift, and others. In an emergency stop, you really can feel the ABS working overtime. In older cars, you do feel the front end lifting up if the aerodynamics aren't up to the modern standards. Not to mention that bumps really do affect the weight distribution of car, leading to realistic spins and slippage, just like you see in those dashcam videos. Not to mention that BeamNG simulates so many different types of terrain. Rocky terrain, asphalt, gravel, dirt, sand, grass, you name it. And to be honest with you, they've come out with tire compounds for every different terrain, making it super realistic to real life, just being able to bolt on off-road tires. Now the best thing about off-roading in BeamNG is how the suspension is simulated to a realistic point. I mean, to be honest with you, when you watch the trophy truck's suspension moving at high speed at Johnson Valley, your jaw drops instantly because it's something that not every game could simulate, and it's not something that every game chooses to simulate just because of its complexity. Now so far, to you, BeamNG has seemed like a sandbox game, and that's exactly what it is. Except, obviously, you can't play a sandbox game forever, especially when it's a limited map just like it is in BeamNG. I love Minecraft, but sometimes I want a goal. Think Fortnite, 100 players and only one can live, so you want to be the last one standing. That's where career mode and scenarios come in. Think of a career as a person that has a car. How do you make money? How do you upgrade your car? You can do this through races, time trials. You could deliver car parts to a shop, or you could do a bunch of different stuff to raise money to refine yourself, get yourself a better car, and whatnot. If that's not your cup of tea, you could always participate in the scenarios page, allowing you to do some more fun stuff like AI races, time trials, police chases, some deliveries, and some semi-truck takedowns. Let's not forget BeamNG Rally, opening the doors to even more motorsports outside of track days. You can honestly drive a rally stage in BeamNG with a co-driver telling you what to do and with notes that show up on screen, making it a great competition to EA Sports WRC and Assetto Corsa Rally. Yes, you saw that right. BeamNG does have a multiplayer function. It might say single player on Steam, but thanks to the awesome BeamNG community, some geniuses down at BeamNP have figured out how to allow you to drive with anybody else around the world. It is actually quite popular, having always 2,000 to 3,000 people online at any given moment, and thanks to mods, you can actually join organized races, allowing you to race at real life tracks like Bathurst and Spa. Personally, I love joining random servers and just seeing what the community is like. A lot of times people are already racing each other, and a few months back I joined a Johnson Valley one, and I got everybody to join in the bus monster truck, and we all raced around the off-road trophy truck track, and it was super awesome, and it's honestly a memory that I keep thinking of whenever I think of BeamNG multiplayer. Last but not least, let's not forget what makes BeamNG such a good investment for your future Steam portfolio. To me, the best thing about BeamNG is how early it is in its lifespan. It's already been out for almost 8 years, if not more, but its quality has only gotten better in recent updates. And I think the best thing about BeamNG is how the windows are so open. Does it get a licensed car or track? Does it go into motorsport? Does it release an open wheel car? Who knows? There's just so many possibilities, and the community is so strong and supportive that honestly the BeamNG devs can't go wrong. It's been built from the ground up, allowing it to expand or improve any feature in the game and making mechanics even better.
So honestly, BeamNG could go in whatever direction it wants, and it could succeed in everything it does because of the amount of detail that these devs can continuously put into the game, making it just one of the best games for future considerations and its current form. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this new sort of video essay that I tried doing. I don't know if it's going to work, but I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys down in the comments of my future videos, and I'll see you guys next time.